So we're going to talk about what Ask Engine optimization is. It is the new SEO and what it means for the remodeling industry. So we're going to talk about the Ask Engine revolution, the local domination strategy, because local domination is key for remodeling contractors in the home services niche. If you're a painter, tiler, it doesn't matter. It's important to dominate locally within a 30 or 50-mile radius. What are the new authority signals? How can you get those signals for your brand? And today, content, what kind of content that wins with Ask Engine optimization? Because search engine optimization has been around for years. And if we just continue to do search engine optimization, we're going to lose out on some super high quality leads, savvy leads, especially in the Silicon Valley where everybody is using AI. And then what are the actionable steps that you can take to outrank your competitors? So before I dive in, I'm a passionate digital marketer. I've been at this game for over a decade, and I exclusively work with remodeling contractors. And my team and I, we're really passionate about using AI and voice bots and automation-driven marketing to get results for the remodeling industry. Because in the remodeling industry, people are still kind of archaic and just relying on referrals and word of mouth. There are some super high quality leads that come out of those exercises. But today we can really drive some high quality leads using technology. And, we're able to guarantee a 1:5 return on the dollar for every marketing dollar for my clients when they work with us. And it is a comprehensive strategy. You can't just say, I'm going to try Facebook ads or Google ads, or I'm going to optimize my Google business profile. It's a comprehensive strategy. It's a digital online footprint and omnipresence formula that you need to take to really win the business because competition is stiff. And people know the good remodeling contractors and they want to do business with the good home services remodeling contractors. Um, Through the process of helping clients and through the process of scaling my own businesses, I have come up with what I call the digital dominance method. And basically, any business that wants to dominate a certain geo, be it a 30-mile radius or 50-mile radius, you got to sit down and say, I want business from these 20 cities, 25 cities, make a list, and then have a strategy. It's very easy for you to generate leads from those cities that you want leads and want business from. At the heart of this strategy is your remodeling company or your home services company. And this heart is your website. You need a well optimized website because your website cannot be just a brochure. It needs to be a lead generating machine. And this is where you got to have relevant, pertinent contents, that matches the Ask Engine optimization queries. The first thing the first thing that you want to do is to have a well-built website with good content, work on local search engine optimization, have these two done really well, have your citations done, have your brand really entrenched in Google Maps. And I'm going to show you why Google Maps still matters today, even though there's AI. Then you can think about spending money on paid search. So the most common mistake that home services remodeling contractors make is kind of have a couple of pages website and then start putting money into ads and wonder why you're not getting results. It's an ecosystem. This dominance method is an ecosystem where each of these pieces matters. So you need to have your foundation set up right. You need to be well listed in local search. You need to be entrenched in the World Wide Web, which is the citations and local listings. You need to care about Bing Maps, Yahoo Maps, Apple Maps, right? The brand has to be listed everywhere because once you do that and then you spend money on ads, that's when the magic happens. As you're spending money on ads, people are going to see, are you really credible? Are you really capable of doing what you're promising? And this is where they're going to go look at your reputation. And so reviews are a huge signal, no matter whether there's AI or no AI. Reputation is a huge signal, and remodeling is a very personal business. You're in people's homes, learning the names of the dog and the kid's birthday and being part of their lives, in their kitchens and bathrooms, that people care about, your brand being vouched for by a third party, another homeowner that says, I had an incredible experience working with Signature Home Services. I highly recommend them, right? So reputation management is a huge piece. And reputation management is something that you can't just say, well, I got 50 reviews on Google, so I'm going to be complacent. Today with Ask Engine optimization, we need to care about every little digital nugget that's out there. The greater your footprint is, the more AI is going to like you. So if you have somebody that writes you a review on Google, you want to have a system to have them copy it over to Facebook. If you've ever had an Angie's account, you want to have good reviews over there. You want to think about the big signals, Better Business Bureau, LinkedIn, all of those are easy SEO, which means your brand must be listed there and you must get reviews on Better Business Bureau. House is a paid service. It does help because they do spend a lot of money on SEO. And so this is where the AI is drawing data from. After you have all of this in place, you can think about email marketing, newsletters and all of that, which is where you're going to get the repeat business, the referral business from. And then I'm always a fan of hardcore marketing of, the good old brochures, flyers, postcards, but you can do it in a 2025 style, which is where you can install a pixel on your website. And anybody that's coming to your website, the pixel has the capability to scrape their, it's kind of sneaky marketing, but it's not illegal. So why not, right? There's a lot of companies that engage in it. The pixel will scrape the homeowner's name and address, and immediately you can have an automation set up to mail a postcard to them saying, hey, homeowner, $5,000 off a bathroom remodel. Would you be interested in doing business with us? And it's really easy to track these conversions because when you've done the preliminary foundation work and you're spending money on ads, you are going to get good traffic to your website. And traffic just sounds like a cold word, but traffic is your potential clients, their beloved leads that are going to put money in the bank for you. And so if you're able to capture them and send them an offer, they are definitely going to buy it. So anybody that wants to generate leads online today can, provided you have a concerted plan in place and you're not just kind of throwing spaghetti on the wall and hoping for something to stick. It's a strategy, right? You got to pick the 3 to 5. Do you need to post on Instagram and LinkedIn and everywhere? No. Pick 2 to 3 things that you can manage and do well, but do it consistently. So that's how your digital footprint grows. And pick the 3 to 5 things. You don't need to run Google ads and Facebook ads, right? Facebook and Instagram are connected. So if you're putting money into Facebook, your ads are going to show on Instagram. So you're going to get the results out of it. So pick 3 to 5 things that work for you. But digital marketing is not something where you tell yourself, well, I'm just going to try it for 90 days, right? It's something where you come in, it's going to build the value of your brand, that if you ever have hopes and dreams to exit your brand, it is going to incredibly add value to your brand. Therefore, if you're planning to put any money into ask engine optimization, SEO, into digital marketing, you need to come in with a commitment of 3 to 5 years, ideally 1 year. And in remodeling, what we're seeing is that we are able to generate super high quality leads, but leads are not going to open up their wallets right away. We are seeing conversions in 90 days, we are seeing conversions in 6 months, right? But does it hurt to get a super qualified lead and have the lead convert for a home edition for $500,000 in 6 months? No. But how do you get that lead? You got to have a concerted plan where you're communicating with them, an automation system that's talking to them and telling them, hey, homeowner, we know you have a project. We're thinking of you. How is it going, right? Because it takes time. Life happens. Soccer games, mom is sick, traveling a bit, right? But people still want that edition. And so if you were top of mind using automations today, you are going to win. But the problem is most contractors are just expecting an admin, or you're putting it on a calendar and saying you're going to call them later. That's when you lose out to the competition. So getting highly qualified leads, it's a ton of money in the Silicon Valley, right? There's a ton of people that want remodels. Homes are old in Atherton, Palo Alto, Los Altos, Menlo Park. These people want to remodel. They live in the affluent neighborhoods and have the dollars. It's a matter of you having a clear strategy of being able to be top of mind when they want to open up their wallets and do business with you. All right, so let's dig into today's topic, the AEO revolution, which is the ask engine optimization. So we are at the verge of the death of traditional SEO, right? Which was keyword stuffing, link building, page rankings, you know, search engine, like helping the search engine become best friends with your brand. Remodeling contractor near me, best kitchen remodeler near me, right? So those were how the old SEO was done. Today, the new reality is that there are AI powered answers and they are voice search queries, which means we're actually seeing zero click searches, right? People don't even click on anything, they get the answer, they call the business, they email the business, or they book time on the contractor's calendar, and they're done. And so these direct responses are spoken, right? So now you got to think about changing your strategy where it is ask engine, where people are asking the engine instead of typing words in. And so this is where the mindset has to change, where if you keep keyword stuffing and link building the old way, you're not going to show up on AI. So traditional SEO, was to rank high in search. Today, AEO is to become the definitive answer to customer questions. So the shift, the fundamental mind shift that we all need to have is, earlier it used to be, how do I rank? How do I rank? How do I show up first, right? Here, now you need to think about, how do I have the most savvy answer that the AI is going to like and is going to be complete to answer the question that the person is asking. And so we got to forget about ranking. We got to think about answering, which is actually really fun if you think about it, because our human brains are wired for conversation. We feel happy when we ask a question and get an answer. We feel happy when we chat with a friend on the phone or text a friend, right? That is the conversational mode that we have to move to today to have our brands be recognized. So Google's AI, I don't know if you watched the I/O conference that they had. They are using AI and they're changing everything. Instant answers, zero clicks, right? So without clicking, we're able to get AI generated responses. They're called featured snippets. Now they're on version 2.0, and immediately it gives you what are called source attribution links, if you see here. So your brand can easily be the featured 2.0 snippet, provided you're thinking about the questions that people are asking before they do business with the remodelers. So your goal, if you really want to win in search, is not about backlinks or you keyword stuffing. It's about becoming the source that Google's AI courts, right? When somebody says, how much does a kitchen remodel cost in Silicon Valley? How much does a kitchen remodel cost in Menlo Park, Gilroy, it doesn't matter, the city, if you have created the content on your website with those answers, and it's really easy to figure out what questions people are asking because there's databases that can give you those questions. So if you prepare yourself to answer these questions, Google's going to make you the featured snippet. And guess what? If people click on this, right there, you're going to win the business because it's going to take them to a blog article or to a piece of content that's going to have continuity in what the person is searching for. So we cannot ignore Google's AI overview anymore. Earlier, Google used to do the 2-pack, 3-pack, and then based on the keyword it used to show. Now it's using what are called featured snippets with attribution links. Every brand can target that based on what your goals are. So you can do the work for kitchens first, then you can do the work for bathrooms, for ADUs, additions, right? So creating that content, and the content cannot be AI generated. Google can tell if you just go and you have ChatGPT write it for you. It can, so it has to be human generated content. Today, more than ever, good copywriting is important. The thing that you need to remember though is you don't need superior writing skills and basic good grammar and conversational, because that's what the ask engine optimization is about, answering the question. And so it can just be you sitting there and writing a 250 word blog where you're just answering a question like you're telling a friend or you're talking to a customer. Or we have one of our clients where we have their salespeople transcribe, record their calls, we transcribe it, and we create blogs out of it. So there's a lot of little things you can do with technology, but getting featured on these snippets is what is going to help you win in search today. Will AI mode be the end of local SEO? The answer is no, right? Because where is AI getting its answers from? It's going to Google Maps and Google business profiles, and these are not going anywhere because AI is just an intelligent source of being able to go and scrape information from wherever it requires information from. But the information is what you have fed about your brand into the World Wide Web. So Google Maps, Google business profiles, they are not going anywhere. And if you actually are a user of Gemini, which is Google's AI, it actually has an AI mode. And so in the AI mode, it's slowly being rolled out. I saw it a couple of times on my Google search option where there's an AI mode that shows up instead of a good old search, and you're able to ask more questions. When you ask the questions, what happens is the results are coming from Google Maps and Google My Business. So before, it used to be kitchen remodeling contractors near me. Now, how much does a kitchen remodel cost? What's the best countertop material for busy families? How long does a bathroom renovation take? Should I remodel my kitchen before selling? How much value will my home get if I remodel a kitchen, right? Kitchen remodels add tremendous value to a home, and people are aware of that. And those are the questions people are asking for. And so you want to start answering these questions via blogs, via videos on your website, or actual projects, right, where you tell a story of a kitchen remodel that you did and what materials people chose and why they chose it, and then write it as a blog. And that's what AI loves today. The zero click reality, like I said, traditional search was click, go from website to information. Today, quick, instant answer, right? We are living in an instant gratification world with cell phones sewn to our bodies. We sleep and wake up with these phones that people want instant answers. And like I said, you can become part of that Google snippet. And when your content answers the question, you get the attribution link and instant credibility. And so mapping out a good content strategy, thinking about the questions and answers that people think about before they invest in a $250,000 remodel or a half a million remodel, that is what is going to help you win versus the age old strategies of, let's do a backlink and let's write more content with like keywords. And it's become really simple now, but you can't ignore content and you can't ignore human content. You don't need stellar copywriting, but you need the human voice, right? It has to be written by a human being, simple writing, answering the question, but no use of AI, because guess what? Google's AI does can read AI and does not like AI. And now there are tools. You can use ChatGPT to create a blog, and then it will tell you what percent of it feels like AI, that you can then go in and edit it. So there's a lot of shortcuts that you can use, but ultimately human beings answering questions, right, having those conversations is what AI is forcing us to do. Okay. Voice searches, if you think about it, are conversational. Hey Google, what's the average cost of a bathroom remodel? Alexa, how do I choose a kitchen contractor? What should I ask a remodeling contractor? So now, instead of thinking about keywords, you're going to optimize for how people speak, right? How people speak, not how they type. Best remodeling contractor near me. That's old style. You want to think about how people are speaking, and voice searches are on the rise, and it's easy to win in the voice searches if you're creating content that's answering questions, right? The Q&A is gold now. So local domination strategy, again, it's age old, nothing changes. You have to optimize your Google Maps presence. You need to have your local services ads up and running, no matter what niche you're in, remodeler, painter, tiler, everybody should claim their local services ads. And if you're not familiar with local services ads, it gives you a green check mark. It's Google guarantees your brand. And if Google guarantees your brand and you write content, Google's going to pull information from that. What does it take to be guaranteed? You just need to be a business owner in good standing. So they're going to run a background check on the business owner, as well as make sure that you carry the required liability insurance as mandated in the state of California. If you're able to submit that paperwork, your brand is going to get a green check mark, and Google's going to favor your brand over others that are not Google guaranteed to pull answers from when people come in and ask questions. The last thing we can do is we can optimize for AI responses. So Google Maps, there's a ton of things that you can do, right? So you want to be able to, for one, be able to log into your profile. Don't add random keywords to the name of your business. This is something that people do, signature kitchen remodeler, right? Be just honest in how you are you a LLC, INC? How have you registered your business? Keep that name. Add your website address, right? Use a local number. 800 numbers are not a good idea. You want to have a local number because Google uses that as a signal. Use a local address, no PO box or UPS stores. Upload photos as many as possible, crew members in uniforms, your truck, your logo, a stake sign outside a project site, right? All of those make your business real and authentic. And Google's like, okay, this is a real human being with hopes and dreams working hard to serve people. I like this business owner. I am going to show this business when people search. List your hours of operation and services offered. Always I have my clients asking, should I just be 24 hours just so I'm shown all the time? No, are you, you're not a doctor or a, emergency service, right? It's okay. Just show your actual business hours. So the more authentic you are, the more real you are in sharing exactly who you are, what hours you work, why your work is cool, why your crew members are cool. Google's going to remember you and Google's going to showcase you when somebody comes looking for your service. Update your photos and add them on a consistent basis, right? Add for our clients, we add 2 to 4 photos. And again, these photos need not be fancy photos. They need not be edited in Canva. They can be point and shoot on your iPhone, just you walking around and taking pictures of your project site. Google loves those organic photos. And they today you don't even need to geotag and tag your photos because photos are automatically geotagged. When you take photos at a project site and you upload it, you're going to win, right? Post at least 2 times a week, speaking about your services, your offer, and respond to reviews. And I don't know if you've noticed on the Google Business profile, there is a Q&A section. So there are many businesses that are trying to artificially stuff those Q&As with questions and answers, which is not a good idea. There are people that are starting to organically ask questions. Google's AI is asking questions over there. So as long as you have a process in place to answer any questions that are showing up on your profile, you're going to be okay. So the one thing that is a huge signal and is never going away is driving consistent reviews. So if you just say, I am going to ask at the end of it and then hope for them to write a review, it's not going to happen, especially in remodeling. Imagine you've torn your kitchen apart, everything's put back, and you're so delighted the kitchen's done, you're going to move back in, and the contractor is asking you for a review. You're super thrilled with your kitchen, but guess what? You just don't have the cycles as a homeowner to be sitting down and writing a Google review, which is where the timing of the ask is so critical. 15 days, 20 days, 30 days after the project is done, you message them and you say, hey, homeowner, how is it going? Thinking of you. Have you settled in? Would you be kind enough to write us a review? Here's one more thing that we do by using automations is we put down the anniversary of when the kitchen is completed and we send the homeowner a text message from the contractor on the first anniversary and say, congratulations, do you realize it's 1 year since you remodeled with us? We're thinking of you. And this is huge. People love it because this is their home. This is where they're cutting the cakes and making the memories and doing homework with the children around the kitchen table. And just say, hey, how is it going? And invariably 99% say, awesome, it's incredible that you thought of me, thank you so much. I think I might have another project automatically that could potentially lead to another project. Or there's always that 1 to 2% that says, oh, I've been meaning to call you, the faucet's been acting up, or the tile's not aligned. We will notify you through the automation right away. You can run over, wow them by fixing that. And guess what? You can ask for a second review on the first anniversary. That's how you double dip. We have clients that have over 100 reviews. In remodeling, it is not possible to be doing 100 projects a year. Good remodeling projects take time, but you can use the same client to double dip to get extra reviews from them, provided you have a strategy in place. If you were to put it on your calendar and say, I'm going to call them on their first anniversary, you're going to forget. There's not enough time in the day. Versus an automation that just triggers and sends out a message and says, homeowner, I'm thinking of you. People love it, right? And if you know they're wine drinkers, take a bottle of wine, send over your best person to go and fix that little tile issue that they're complaining about. Once that's done, we can use an automation to say, I hope you're happy now. Would you be kind enough to write us a second review? And people are thrilled. They actually say the story. I can't believe it. The contractor actually remembered my anniversary and came over and fixed this. We're so thrilled. We love our kitchen. And they even take some photos and they post it, right? So you need to have a strategy for driving consistent reviews. It's hard work. Remodeling is hard work. We know how long projects take. We know how long it takes to do things well. Things fail, things don't work out right, permits don't happen. right? And so when you've completed a project, you really need to be getting the credit for it multiple times, over and over. Ask for a fifth anniversary review. If you do another project, tap into them. The thing is, people are kind enough and people are interested in writing reviews. Everybody's busy, so it's the timing of the ask and how simple you make it. If you just say write a review, they're never going to write a review. You text them with the link to click and write a review, they'll do it. We go one step above and beyond. We track who clicks on the link and does not write a review. My team member calls the homeowner and says, notice you were trying to write a review. Is there anything we can help with? Invariably, people are like struggling. They're like, because Google will not let you write a review unless you're logged into an email account. People don't realize these things. So we're like, okay, make sure you're logged in because Google needs to know who you are. You just help them with that one little thing, their review goes live, right? So it's a bit of work to get those reviews going. But if you have a strategy in place, it is a huge signal. It's never going away. And Google loves it. The more reviews you have, the more consistent reviews you have, 2 a month, you're going to win. And you can do this. You can have a text and email based review request. This is what we do for our clients, where we message them and they're able to click on it and immediately go in and write a review. So we make it easy for them to write a review, right? So give them the link quickly to write a review, because if they have to go search for your brand and they make a typo, it's not going to happen. So this is what we do. As you well know, reviews are the lifeline of a business. We're grateful for the opportunity to work with you. Would you be kind enough to write us a sentence or two? Because you have to prompt people to write sentences. Because if you don't write sentences when the ask engine optimization kicks in, just having that 5 star is not going to serve you. So it's important to prompt them to write a few lines. And if people just click on a 5 star and go away, we chase them down and we make them write a couple of lines, because you need those words. The 5 star is not going to serve you, right? So being able to ask them at the right time is going to help you get those reviews. And then you kind of have to teach and train the homeowner to say, please write a few sentences about your experience. Please list that you live in Pleasanton, California, because it's going to help me, right? And so when you do those things, people don't realize what the things that will help you, but when you ask them, they'll be more than happy to do it. Now let's look at the multi-platform reality that we are living in today, right? So there's Google reviews, there's Chat GPT, and then there's Gemini, there's growing AI search, right? But guess what? All of the information is Google's not going away, right? They are the world's largest search engine, and all of the AI is relying on data from there. So any work you've done for your online presence, for your reviews, is going to pay off. And so it's important. The reviews are essential. ChatGPT does not just rely on Google. Now Google's facing competition, and that ChatGPT looks at reviews from other platforms. And growing AI search requires a broader review strategy method, right? So you need Facebook reviews, you need Better Business Bureau reviews. I don't, I'm not a fan of Yelp. I feel they're an unethical business, but that's my cup of tea. Like, that's what I believe in. I don't think you should be spending a lot of time trying to get Yelp reviews unless you're a handyman, painter. It pays off. But you really need to have a strategy in place, because Yelp they just kind of gouge you. They take your money and then they threaten you, and then they allow 1 star reviews, right? So you got to be really careful if you're playing the Yelp game. It must be well managed. You must have good content on Yelp, and then quick response time. Just so, because people are mean. Sometimes they just go and write a review for you not calling them back within 24 hours, right? That kind of stuff is going to hurt you. Trustpilot is one more, right? So they're all reliability signals. Home Advisor, Angie's, if you've ever been buying leads from them, they're contractor specific platforms. They spend thousands on AEO and SEO. So if you've ever had your brand listed there, you must have some great reviews. If you have some negative reviews, it's going to hurt you. So it's worth it to like grow the reviews over there. House, again, very, very big company, tons of money. And therefore, if you must have a profile there. You don't need to be spending on running ads with them, but they allow anybody to have a profile, anybody to get reviews. And if you're thinking about really growing your presence, it's worth it for you. If you're a design build company, it's worth it to like put some money into them, because they will get you some qualified leads, but their SEO is so powerful that it will help you rank. It will help you show up on that Google snippet. So Now you have to diversify your review collection across platforms, and always getting video reviews is the way to go. If you are able to get video reviews and have some testimonials posted on your website, Google loves that. Google loves video content, right? So just a conversation, have a conversation with the homeowner. At the end of it, if you have the time for fancy, Nari has photographers, videographers that work in our specific industry, super talented people that I've met. Form a partnership with them, have them be on your team, do before and after photos, culmination review videos, and post it. That's how you're going to win in the AI game and the ask engine optimization, right? Just conversational videos with the homeowners saying, what was the pain point you were trying to solve? Okay, aging parents, you needed space. Awesome. You built an ADU in your backyard. How fantastic. Now they're there for you for the children, and they're not in a senior care facility. It's wonderful that we've been able to build an ADU for them. That's a story. You tell that story, Google loves it, and it's going to showcase you. Google now has a people are asking feature, so it's going to start. You're going to start noticing it. It's now it's not actually people asking. What Google's doing is they're using robots, and they are able to gather information based on all the past searches that they've had, and now they're using robots to showcase what kinds of questions people are typically asking, what special offers are available. So Google's AI is now learning about your business through these Q&As, answering these questions, right, from Google's understanding of past historic data, and prepares your business for AI powered search responses. So what you want to do is you're going to see it. You're going to start seeing these people are asking Q&As on frequently searched on Google, and you're going to start seeing what are the things that people are searching for. Right now, what I'm seeing over and over for the people are asking is for restaurants. People are asking, is there a vegan friendly menu? What are the special offers available? Do you serve alcohol, right? But this is how Google always expands. Restaurants are big business, easy for them to just train the algorithm. They're going to come into lawyers and insurance companies and remodeling contractors. And so you must have offers on your Google business profile. If you're running any events, you should be speaking about those events. So the more information, authentic information you can put into your Google business profile, it's going to become trained. When the robot comes and asks questions, it's going to be able to see your data and take it from there. So Maps is not going away, reviews are not going away, but how Google's using its information is changing. And so, they're saying people are asking, but they're putting their robots to work to ask these questions. There's social profile linking. If it's something that you've not done, you must do it today. You're able to link your Instagram profile, your Facebook profile, your Better Business View, any number of social profiles to your Google business profile. So this gives Google additional context about your services. It's able to go and see reviews that are listed over there, and it expands your ranking opportunities, right? So before linking, Google thinks you only do kitchen remodeling. But on your Instagram, you're talking about luxury kitchen islands, farmhouse sinks, custom cabinetry, right? After linking, what happens now? Google knows you specialize in luxury kitchens. Instead of you just being this generic kitchen remodeler, now all of the work that you're doing on Instagram, you're going to get credit on Google, provided your profiles are linked. So everybody that has a Google business profile must optimize it and must have all of your social profiles. You can add any number of social profiles: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, everywhere, right? Because the kinds of content that you create varies based on the platform. And you can see how Google's now integrating and bringing all of the information together by the social profile linking. So easy to do. If you have access to your Google business profile, quickly dive in and see if your social portals are linked there. If not, please go ahead and do it right away, because it's going to be an easy win. It's going to become you. The information that Google sees is going to be more relevant, pertinent you, because you're not going to be just this generic contractor. You're spending time posting on stories. You're spending time posting on Instagram, right? All of that Google's now able to see after you've linked your social profile. So easy win. And it's pretty cool how Google's helping the small business owner win, because they want to be the world's best search engine. But guess what? the users, right, the business owners have to feed them the correct data for them to be the world's best search engine. So any work that they're giving us is only going to benefit us if we do it right, we do it fast, and we beat our competition, right? And now, if you ask me, does it make sense to be posting on Instagram and Facebook? Absolutely. You want to have ask engine optimized questions and answers. You, if you're not camera shy, Mr. General Contractor, hop on in front of your iPhone and answer the top 5 questions that people ask you every time on a sales call. Every time when you go into a homeowner's house and they say, how soon will you get me the estimate? Well, how is the estimate broken down? Do I have to pay a deposit? What happens after I pay the deposit? Who does the permit? What if the permit is delayed? Those are all ask engine optimization. Just make 10 things that people are always asking you. Make short videos, post it on Instagram. Make sure that your Instagram profile is linked here. You're done. You're going to be a winner in ask engine optimization. So, and then local services ads is, it's been around for a while. It should be set up right. We just got a $1 million home remodel lead for one of my Walnut Creek contractors, right? That is the potential of local services profile if optimized well, if budget is done right, if geo is done right, and your insurance is in good standing, and you have a clean background, which obviously as business owners we all do. You are going to get some super high quality leads. And now within Google local services ads, what will happen is you'll own the search results, right? You'll be on the top. So you not only claim your profile, you spend money on local services ads. The cool thing about local services ads is, unlike pay per click, you're not going to pay per click. You're only going to pay for qualified leads. So it's a no brainer that anybody in the home services niche should be running local services ads, because now Google's also using AI to listen to the phone calls and automatically they're crediting it. Earlier, I have a team member, even now I have a team member who goes in and validates every call, and then you can report to Google saying this is nonsense, this is somebody trying to look, it's a carpenter looking for work, it's an insurance company trying to sell insurance, this is some voice bot that we should not be paying for. And so ultimately you can get 2 to 3 qualified leads a month for like $40 cost per lead, which is incredible in remodeling if you think about it, to be able to get a qualified homeowner that's searching for you at $40 cost per lead, right? So the local services ads is something that you cannot ignore. And if you see now in the 3 pack, the sponsored one that's showing up here is because they are Google guaranteed and they're running local services ads and they have a plan in place to get reviews, right? So those are the signals that Google likes it, because they have more reviews, they're paying Google money. But again, you don't have to be stressed out if you're like, I don't want to spend on ads. Guess what? You're only going to pay for every qualified lead. So local services ads is a no-brainer. It needs to be done right. That is where on the back end of the Google guaranteed platform you can add photos of your team, right? Just them picking up a beam, just them walking over to a window, but showing a shirt saying, okay, I am Ingenious General Construction. This is my team member walking over. Google loves those. And what happens is you'll be able to see on the dashboard how many views those photos have had. And some photos will have thousands of views. And the more views it has, the more Google remembers you and the more Google will show you, right? So as a business owner in the home services niche, in service-based businesses, if you're not local services guaranteed, Google guaranteed, you're losing out on easy business because you only pay for qualified leads and the pricing is very fair, right? And why is Google doing this? Because to be the world's best search engine, they need more and more authentic business owners showing up on search. Otherwise, people are going to say, why am I going to go to Google and search? Like, I never find anybody that's qualified. So it's a really smart program that they've come up with, but it's a little bit of tedious work to get your background check done and get your insurance submitted. And then if your insurance expires, you need to update the insurance. You want to, the more the phone is answered, the higher you rank when somebody is searching, right? So there's just a lot of little things that need to be done right, but you can get some fantastic leads from local services. And again, it is sitting right on the very top. Look at that. Google guaranteed is on the very top. Then it's the big dogs that can afford to spend, on SEO, on ads, like Angie's and stuff. Then it's the bigger remodelers that are spending money. Then it's all of the sponsored is the guaranteed people that's showing up. It's a three pack. Again, you're competing with the big dogs, Yelp, House, right? And so how is Google helping the small business owner that cannot be spending thousands on SEO and spending thousands on PPC? By the Google Guaranteed program. If you actually scroll down to the bottom of the page, Google actually bookends the search engine page with the guaranteed people, because Google wants to help small business owners be found online, provided you're an authentic business owner with stellar reviews, paying them nominal money for the leads that they're generating for you. So it's a win-win partnership. So you don't always pay for LSA appearances anymore. So there are three types of searcher intent. Somebody that's local, right? They're ready to buy, wants to find a provider. I'm just done with my old bathroom. I need a new bathroom. I need a new kitchen, right? And they're searching for kitchen remodeling contractors in Silicon Valley, ready to buy. Informational intent. They're kind of in the research phase, not ready to buy, trying to do their homework. What is the difference between granite and quartz countertops in Silicon Valley? Doing that kind of homework. And then hybrid intent. They're a combination of local and informational, which is how much does the bathroom remodel cost in Dallas? Like mixed billing, opportunity for free exposure, right? So LSAs are far more likely to appear for local intent queries. Local intent queries are the top of the funnel. People are ready to buy, right? They are ready to open up their wallets and do business with you. And so local intent queries are good. That means you have the best chance of winning. And so over there, if you're posting photos, there's not really a way to write content on your local services ads, but you can put on photos. You can set your geos. So we play between a broader geo and a smaller geo. And you can set your budget to up to $10,000 a week. That does not mean you're going to spend $10,000. You're only going to pay for the qualified leads, but it needs consistent management, right? I have a designated team member who's going into these accounts every day, every week, adjusting the budgets, adjusting the geo, and that's how you win. And then we will task you with, you have to give us 10 organic photos this month. We need those photos. They need not be pretty, they need not be gorgeous wow photos. They are photos of you doing the work, right? Google wants to see those photos. And the more photos you add, the more you optimize your local services account, you're going to find these local intent ready to buy people. And those are the people that we want, because the researchers, we know there's tons of them. Maybe now, maybe later, maybe in 6 months, fine, we'll take those leads as well. But the local services ads gets you those local intent people. Again, you can see how Google's really trying to help the people who want to find a solution for a problem that they have, a pain point that they have in their life, by being the go-to search engine that gives them that local intent answer. All right. What are the new authority signals, right? So Google cares about what is called EEAT, which stands for expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness, right? It just sounds like a lot of jargon, a lot of complicated work, right? So demonstrated knowledge in your field, real project examples and case studies, industry recognition. If you're a member of NARI, do you have the NARI logo on your website? Are you linked to the NARI Silicon Valley chapter? Easy backlink, easy win. Because Google's like, okay, this is not only an honest business owner, they are really trying to network in the community and build their business. So I like them even more. There's your authority. Trustworthiness comes from verified information, local services, Google guaranteed, having credible reviews, all of that. So, um, how to content and project insights, right? It's really simple. Every time you are starting a project, write an essay or 250 words on what is the pain point you're trying to solve. Ugly bathroom, mold, whatever, the homeowner is not happy. Write that. Get after photos. Write a simple blog of before and after photos. You are going to win in EEAT, expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. And if you're able to add a video of you talking to the homeowner, describing the project, and you add it to that blog, that's it. Your traffic's going to triple, your traffic's going to quadruple. So when people say, what am I writing in blogs? Am I paying an SEO company? No, just tell your story. Every project that you did is a case study. What pain point did you solve for? What was the budget? You're not feeling comfortable sharing the homeowner's address? Don't. Just say Walnut Creek, California, Los Altos Hills, California. Just give the geo, because then Google's like, okay, this contractor serves that geo. So if you can really to convince the homeowner to say 3355 Menlo Park, right? Even better, because then it becomes a more authoritative signal for Google. So just simple case studies, simple before and after, those are the best blogs. And every month we task our clients with, we have a standardized intake form. They have to send us at least one project. It's like homework, right? But if you think about it, it's not boring homework. You get to show off your beautiful work, the paint, the tile, the bathrooms, the magic you've created in this industry just excites me, right? You change people's lives to live better, to feel happier, to age better. And so the more stories you can tell and the more you can showcase your real work with before and after, it becomes really easy. This is just an AI generated image. I just wrote a prompt on Chat GPT and I created this before and after. I said, give me an ugly bathroom. But we've been running these as ads and these are doing really well as ads, right? So we've been playing around with AI generated content. So the EAT comes from real stories. When you have real stories, it really compounds when the Ask Engine optimization is working. So again, content that wins with AEO is answering questions, right? How much does a kitchen remodel cost? So we've actually built out calculators for some of my clients. We've built out a kitchen remodel calculator. We've built out an ADU calculator. The ADU calculator is doing really well as a lead magnet. What permits do I need for bathroom renovation, right? Because ADU permitting is way longer than bathroom permitting. Bathroom permitting in Palo Alto takes way longer than it does in San Jose, right? These quirky things you guys know because you live and breathe it. So the more you can speak about it, the more you can educate people, the more they're going to be able to plan and say, okay, this works for me. So if I come in with a $10,000 deposit, it's going to take 2 weeks to get the permit. It's going to, then we have to get all of the fixtures, the supplies, the remodeling starts, right? Then they can plan their finances, how to choose between granite and quartz, what's the ROI of a kitchen remodel. This is a huge question, right? The ROI of a kitchen remodel is phenomenal in the Bay Area, right? If you have a really beautiful looking kitchen and you put your house on the market, you're going to win, right? So I live here in Palo Alto. I have a neighbor that put their house up for 4.5 million. And I was shocked. I was like, really? Somebody's going to buy a house for 4.5 million? It's sale pending for 3.99. And I went and I looked at that house. They've just upgraded the kitchen, they've upgraded the bathrooms, right? And I'm waiting to see what it's going to close at. But that is the power of remodeling, because the return on investment of that $40,000 to $45,000 is huge if you're trying to sell the home. And people are thinking of these questions because there's people moving out of the Bay Area, that's people inheriting properties, it's people that want to upgrade their homes. So direct answers with detailed explanations is going to get you featured on that Google snippet, and you are going to win. So help Google understand your content, right? Business information, service area definitions, review schema, FAQ schema, right? So schema is really easy to generate if you're using right content creation methods. Local business markup, right? You really want to repeat yourself over and over, saying, I work in San Jose, I work in Walnut Creek, right? Whatever geo, you got to be talking about those geos. So then you make it easy for AI to interpret your content. You're teaching AI to read your stuff, which you're using a conversational tone for it to showcase you, right? It's really simple. Video, like I said, dominates AEO. YouTube is Google's part of Google. They're the number 2 search engine in the world. Google prioritizes video answers. Homeowners prefer visual explanations, and you have higher engagement rates. So again, I have a contractor in Walnut Creek. He should be in movies, right? He's not camera shy at all the time, walks around on his job sites talking about, okay, the windows are going in today. And then he talks about, like, I don't even know. I've learned so many brands watching him, paella windows and whatever roofs. And that's what people want. People want to see that you're a human being with the team, walking around on a real project site, showing them what you're doing, the hard work you're doing. And again, you don't even have to show your face if your camera is shy. And I think for contractors, for men, it's far easier. You don't have bad hair days. With women, we're more like, oh my god, is my hair looking pretty today? Do I need to wear lipstick, right? Don't even think about that. Flip your camera, don't show your face. Let people get used to hearing your voice. Let them hear how you sound, how knowledgeable and amazing you are. Put your carpenter, put one of your senior fellows on the video and ask them, have a little quick video interview, right? Those kinds of impromptu, unplanned conversations AEO really loves. Really easy to do. And with the iPhone or whatever gadget you have, there is no excuse to say, I need to get this kind of a fancy camera, I need to sit down, right? Not needed. Google prioritizes video answers. So quick snippets, if you're able to do, add them onto a YouTube channel where there are those YouTube shorts. That's when you're going to see the benefits of being found via Ask Engine Optimization. And again, location specific content. You want to talk about cities, you want to talk about counties, you want to talk about the area that you serve, you want to talk about the local building codes, which I'm sure you all are very knowledgeable about, very easy to speak about. But this is where, when you have a content plan that's working for Ask Engine Optimization, it's a well thought out, well laid out plan where we figure out how many pieces of content, how many questions we're going to answer, how are we going to deploy it. And then every piece of content, you cannot just write it and leave it as a blog. The blog should now be pushed out through a RSS feed onto your Facebook profile, your Instagram profile. So the more you get your content out there, spread out onto the World Wide Web, the more benefits you're going to get out of it. So you can't just be complacent saying, I wrote a fantastic blog, I did a good case study, and I put it on the website. No, now you need to take the case study and put it on your Google business profile. You got to put photos of the case study on your local services ad. You want to put that case study on your Facebook profile. With automations and technology, you're not really sitting there and manually doing all of this work. You need to have a plan in place, and it can be done. So tools for AEO optimization, you should care about Google Search Console. Google Search Console will give you all the questions that people are asking. So anybody that has a business, if you have a website, it should be connected to the Google Search Console. The Search Console will tell you whether your pages are indexed or not. So every time you write a blog and you create a brand new page, the page needs to be indexed, right? Indexing involves back-end technical work. Do you need to be technically savvy? No. What do you need to do to get your page indexed? Create 5 social media posts about the blog that you just wrote. Google's going to index it, right? But it's going to tell you whether the page is indexed or not. When do page indexing fail today? When the page is filled with AI content. Google can tell. You can sit there and be blue in the face, your page will not index. Google My Business Insights, you want to care about your dashboard and go look at what are the keywords that people are using to land on your profile. Every month we go in and we look at our clients and see what is it that people are searching for. Then we create content. There's Answer the Public, where you can just go and see what are the most common searches for remodeling contractors. The schema markup generator. Schema is something that you cannot ignore. Really easy. It has to go onto the header of a page. Every content that you're creating, you must be uploading schema. Schema is what AI will recognize and be able to read. Local SEO tracking tools, right? So where are you ranking on maps? What keyword are you ranking for? Those red and green maps, I'm sure you dots, you must have seen those ads. What dots are you ranking for? Where are you ranking for, right? So you need to be aware of what you're showing up for, because you can be doing all of this work and not be showing up for anything, which is where we need to refine the strategy and be sure that you're showing up for kitchen and bathroom remodels. Every homeowner is going to have a minimum of 1 to 2 of those kitchen or bathroom remodels in their lifetime. So think about it. That is the opportunity that exists, which means are you ranking for those Ask Engine words? If you're not, do you know what you're ranking for? It's really easy to use Bright Local. There's so many tools to see what you're ranking for. Common AEO mistakes is, generic non-specific answers, ignoring local search factors, outdated business information, right? Old website, no new content on your Google business profile, poor review management. You're getting stellar reviews, but nobody's really replying to it. And then structured data on your website, right? Having good format of, pillar content, silos, and making sure that your information is easy to read by the AI. So the future is, more AI-powered search results, increased voice search usage. So anytime you're trying to write any content, you're trying to write a caption for your social media post, use a conversational tone, right? Greater emphasis on local expertise, right? If you are the go-to contractor in the Bay Area, in whatever, 15 to 20 cities, speak about it. have your clients speak about the fact that you did a fantastic remodel for them in Mountain View, California, right? Those are all signals. And then integration with smart home devices, which is invariably happening. And you can't really do much in terms of being found on smart home devices as long as you're putting out relevant, pertinent content that's answering questions when somebody goes to Google, which is going to happen. I feel like I have two teenage boys, and I don't think they want to write as much. They'd rather just ask Google or ask Alexa for answers. And that's what the next generation is moving towards. But guess what? They are going to be the shoppers of the next, coming up here really soon. So we need to think about being sure that we have content out there that will integrate with smart home devices. Um, I missed this. So, what can you implement today? Like today, what can you do at the end of this workshop? Update your Google My Business with complete information. But is it speaking about this areas that you serve? Is it are all your social profiles linked? Add FAQ sections to your website on the bottom, really easy win. Create content answering top 5 customer questions, right? The next time you're doing a sales call, write down the questions, just answer those, write a blog. Optimize for voice search with conversational keywords. What are you answering when how are they asking the question? Just use that in your content when you're writing it. And encourage specific reviews from recent clients, right? This is work to get reviews, but you must make it part of your strategy because it is the number one signal. So easy wins is to FAQs, link your social profiles to your Google business profile, answer, write a piece of content which is just a conversation that you're having with a potential lead, with a client, and then have a strategy in place for reviews. Just doing this over and over, you don't even need to be, going and spending on ads, and do this consistently. Talk about your case studies, talk about your actual projects via blogs on your website. You're going to get leads out of all of this exercise. So if you'd like to sync with me, it's really easy. You can just go to growthplancall.com. I'd love to look at your online presence and give you some feedback. Nari members are my friends. No sales tactics here. I'd just love to look at your uh, online presence and give you, 5 things that you could do right away, just like what I propose. So you can be on your way if you already have a marketing team, or you're one of those contractors that has a lot of marketing savvy. I can give you 5 more things that you can be doing today to win in this AEO. So that's all I have. I'm very grateful for you guys spending time with me, and I think this slideshow will be emailed over to you as well as the recording. So I will see you at one of the future meetings. If not, thank you again, and I will stay in touch.